The PlayStation 2 still holds the record for most units sold over 2 decades after its release. The King of Consoles can attribute a large portion of its success to its mascot series, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet & Clank, and of course, the Sly Cooper series. I just finished playing Sly 2 for the first time, and it was interesting to say the least. It was very fun, but also at the same time, it was a giant chore to complete. And I was trying to figure out why I was struggling so much throughout the journey. I knew something was astray because I love the art style, the story is great, and for the most part, the gameplay is solid and responsive. So after much thinking, I think I figured out exactly what my gripe is with Sly 2. And it's something that these 3 games handle fairly differently: level design. You see, for the most part, Ratchet & Clank is a very linear game. You set out on a path, the path is loaded with enemies, kill said enemies, follow path, easy peasy. Jak and Daxter, however, focuses its level design towards exploration. A large chunk of the game revolves around collection, so you'll be walking all over the place and the levels reflect that. And now Sly 2 falls somewhere in the middle. Because of its stealth-like element, the world is littered with dark alleys, rooftops to run around on, and a plethora of enemies to sneak past. Sly 2 also expands the magnitude of its levels a bit from the original, which honestly works for a few of the levels. Chapter 1's environment is a wonderful example of level design done right. The city of Paris at night, with barren rooftops and many trampolines that toss you into the sky, the first level is as fun to maneuver and fight in as any of the Assassin's Creed games. Sly controls like a dream, and playing as the gang's less dexterous members doesn't feel half bad either, thanks to the ease of access when it comes to verticality. This paired with a beautiful atmosphere and engaging characters to fill it with, and you have a level that shows you that Sly 2 is a brilliant game at its core, and that it's capable of great level design. But then you keep playing. Chapter 3 from this game might be one of the worst gaming experiences I have had in years, and that falls on the shoulders of its atrocious level design. They really went for broke, it seems, with this level's size, and it feels, at least to me, like the largest map. This almost certainly isn't true, but it feels this way because moving around this place feels like absolute dog shit. The level was filled with vertical elements that really only Sly can reach and deal with, but the level forces you to play as the other 2 goobers a good amount. And even when you are playing as Sly, a bunch of the map feels like it's only accessible through linear paths, which makes messing up during a mission feel like a death sentence. Plus, somehow, the level feels incredibly empty, just a jungle chock full of enemies. All these issues come to a head in the mission where Sly must barrel walk his ass across the entire fucking map without getting hit once. Boring as fuck to play, with enemies everywhere, so it's hard as hell, and since you have to follow a specific path, the repetitive nature of dying over and over and over and over just to walk the same fucking line feels like the trials of Sisyphus stuffed into a fucking children's game. The rest of the levels really don't get much better. Jailbreak is fine because its main theme is that Sly is unavailable for a good portion of the level, meaning that they had to design the level in a way where Bentley wouldn't be too much of a bother. But the next level ramps the verticality up 3 notches, falling back into Chapter 3's problem of sucking major ass to play as Murray and Bentley. The missions at the very least were interesting for the most part, except having to chase Nilo around this hellhole maze of cathedral architecture designed to piss me off. Then you get to Jean Bison's levels, and it's like the developers magically remembered how to make good levels again. These 2 levels are so much fun. Every mission was amazing. The level felt good to move around in, they were both gorgeous to look at, just an overall breath of fresh air. Even the final level isn't too bad. The parachute was obviously designed for this level, and besides the inherently annoying dynamite barrel mission, this was a breeze to finish. And seeing the credits finally roll was like collecting the final Infinity Stone. Just such a satisfying sigh of relief. But again, these levels are overshadowed by the absolute gross taste left in my mouth from the middle of the game. Sly 2 was a game I was super excited to play, but ultimately was more excited to finally be done with. It was one of the most original and interesting IPs to come out of its generation, and it's obvious why it has such a large fanbase. Even though I would say it doesn't hold up as much as many would imagine, it definitely deserves the love and admiration it receives. Would I play it again? No. Would I recommend someone else plays it? Also no. Sly 2 is one of the best games ever created that I think should fall to the forgotten depths of time, at least in its original form. But even through all its faults, and the anger tumor it left in my brain, I can't help but admire the vision the developers were able to put into practice and the significance of its existence. Like the Roman Colosseum, Sly 2 is a masterpiece weathered by time, but it will forever stand as a titan of what video games have been, are now, and could be. Hey, thanks for watching. My name is Rudy. This fan favorite series is a way for me to practice content creation as well as play more games that I would have never played otherwise. So if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. And if you have a game that you think I might like, comment down below and maybe I'll make a video about it. Eventually. Again, thanks for watching.